Thomas was 16 years old when he made the decision that would change the rest of his life. The farm still stood, the family still ate, but every month seemed harder than the last. The army promised regular pay. To Thomas, it looked like a way to help his family and perhaps become somebody. He told himself he was joining for the money, but deep down he also wanted adventure. The moment his mother let go, neither of them knew if they would ever meet again. At first, the war felt more like a parade than a battlefield. Then came the reality. Drill after drill after drill. Sunrise drill, afternoon drills, evening drills. The glory never seemed to arrive. One soldier described camp life perfectly. "There are 3 of us resting by one piece of a candle on a tin pail." Night after night, boys became soldiers beneath that tiny flame. Mother's letters kept Thomas alive through this grueling period. He could feel as though he was back at home with his mother and sister again. Their meals rarely changed. One soldier listed them plainly: fresh beef, salt mule, hardtack, beans, rice, sugar, coffee, and vinegar. The mud reached everywhere: boots, blankets, letters, spirits. Disease stalked the camps. One private wrote home simply, "Health in camp is rather poor. Sometimes sickness struck before bullets did." Soldiers sought solace in receiving letters from their loved ones. A few lines from home could brighten an entire week. Winter stripped away every illusion. One soldier remembered, "We put our blankets on over our coats and tied up our ears." Then came the day they had spent months preparing for. Thomas and the younger boys cheered. The veterans did not. Thomas would soon understand why. The battlefield looked nothing like the posters. Within minutes, the war became terrifyingly real. He searched for the boy who shared his candle, the boy who shared his coffee. None answered. Scattered across the field were things soldiers thought they would need tomorrow: letters, photographs, promises. Yet for many of them, tomorrow would never come. Thomas survived the battle, but the war left its mark. The wound healed. What it did to him never fully would. 4 years after it began, the war finally seemed over. Then another piece of news arrived. One soldier wrote, "In losing our president, we have not only lost one of the best men of the age." Another line captured the mood perfectly. "There appears to be a continual sunshine over the one great gloomy spot which hangs over the nation." A month later, Thomas finally came home. But surviving the war was not the end of his struggle. His mother, the source of his strength that pulled him through all the tough period, had passed away, and he didn't even have the chance to say goodbye one last time. Reintegration into civilian life was hard. He faced rejections after rejections from employers due to his injuries. One veteran wrote, "Having lost my left arm at the Battle of Fredericksburg, I can no longer work at my trade." Thomas understood exactly what that meant. While the nation celebrated victory, veterans like Thomas constantly worried about work, food, and the future. But there was nothing else Thomas could do. He could only grit his teeth and marched forward. The battle for life was still going on. Years later, Thomas kept only a few reminders of the war: a button, a photograph, and a handful of letters. The letters survived. Many of the boys who wrote them did not. As he read, he remembered the boy who enlisted for pay, the boy who dreamed of adventure. And of course, he never forgot his parents who have long passed away. The boy had become an old man, but the letters still remembered who he once was.